You're listening to Boston Public Radio, Jim Browdy, Margery. How many people do you know who are both great sculptors, visionary and spiritual artists, as Margery said, and fine auto mechanics? Well, if you want to see such a person, you have two choices. You can travel to Aladdin Auto Service in Fresh Pond in Cambridge, or if you just want to hear them, you have come to the right place. Welcome to Boston Public Radio. I'm going to try my best to get this right. Mahmood Rezaei-Kamalabad.
Perfect.
Was that good?
Perfect.
Now, let me tell you, I thought that Natalie Kogan was the happiest person that's ever been in the studio. She can't hold a candle to you, Mahmood. What's up with you?
I believe the sense of the happiness is a stage of the mind and realization in life. It's not something material always is changing the form and unstable. But the only things we can create the happiness is to realize and understanding how the life works. And the life works based off the spirituality. When the God created the heaven and the earth, it means a space and the matter. And this relationship between understanding the space and the existence of the matter, because if the space does not exist, the matter is not able to be exist.
By the way, every auto mechanic I've ever spoken to has said the exact same thing. I want
That's good. I'm glad. I love them. Another my brother. Do you know? Is important things to realize in your environment, because everybody, they are looking to the materialistic life of the happiness, because the material always is a continuous changing, so they are not able to reach the final point of their happiness. Their happiness is within the spirituality body, and you have to go within the body. But when you get to the body, you realize something above of the material life, which is the spirituality, which is the heaven itself, which the God created first. So basically, daily, you have to look up. One of the problems is the people, they start to think, and everything we take within the body, it has a released position. Mm-hmm. It goes out. But the one thing does not go is a thought of the human mind. And they start to orbiting. And this orbiting causes the conflict between the spirit and the body. So to release that one, you have to look up. As what you see, all the source of the light is to the ceiling.
And that's how you pray, with looking up and with your arms up
Exactly.
into the air.
You have to exercise somebody from MIT, they came to me and they made some gadget for their watch, looks like the watch, and they told me this one, when you wanted to have a memory, remembering, you put it at certain times and beeps. I said, this one should be used for the people to remind them to look up.
Okay, so here's the deal. You got the auto service place out in
Yes.
Fresh Pond.
Yeah.
And then inside there you have all your sculptures.
Yeah.
And then you also have the spiritual part of your life. So you're combining all these things. What are you doing with these sculptures? They're made of steel. They're huge.
I have a philosophy how the body has a development, physical development, and also spirituality has a development in the body. And through this spirituality development in the body create a different religion. So everything is related to the four elements: is the water, is the soil, the fire, and the air element. So all of them is connected, the spirituality related to these four elements. So basically, when I start to look to the problems, I start to materialize that one. Because you have to bring your thought to the form of the material until you can, when the God says to be, it to become. So you have to form that spirit of what you think to the material until you can prove your goal and your idea to the public. Because I believe the education is the significance of the development of the spirituality.
Can we get back to, I want to start at the beginning here, if we can, for a couple of seconds. I read about you that you have a film degree from Emerson, and then you got a PhD. How did you go from that to sculptor to the head of Aladdin Auto Service in Fresh? How did all those things get connected, Mahmoud?
When I had 2 kids and I was driving a taxi and I was doing my PhD at Boston University, and my subject was understanding the concept of the interference, which is the wave and the pattern and also space. Mm-hmm. So I could not do it because I left the home 4 o'clock in the morning. And I went home by the 10 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So every time when I leave the house, the kids, they were asleep. I came back home, everybody was asleep. So I sit in front of the Charles River and I start to pray. And I said, God, what I'm going to do? And he said, look at all this car is coming and going. One of the things of receiving the information, your conscience has to be clear and clean. When your conscience is clean, because we are in contained of the body, universe, we are in contained form. We are not open space. We are all in one space. So the signal can transfer and we can receive and we can send. So by asking what I'm going to do, I receive the information, fix the car. Look at, they're coming and going.
So wait. So you're an artist, you're a sculptor, you have a film degree.
Yeah.
You were sitting on the Charles, speaking to God about what you should do about your predicament, your kids and that sort of thing. And God told you to look at the cars on Memorial Drive, and that's what led you...
I was crying, Jim. Difficulty, you look up, you talk to the God, and it is directing you. So who I am to finding what I need, what I'm supposed to do. But when he said, fix the car, I looked at the car and I said, be a mechanic? I look up and said, if you want it, I will. So I dropped the PhD and I start to go to the many schools, high schools. General Motors, to that time, they had a school in Dedham, Mass.
Wait a minute. So you did not know how to be a mechanic?
No.
So you had to start from scratch, learning how to be a mechanic?
Yes,
okay.
And after that, I start to look to the General Motors. They had in Dedham the school, and I start to go every often, drive the taxi, fix the people's car on the sidewalk, parking lot. And I know all the area, which is a little space, give it to me, change the oil of the cars of the people. I had no idea what the God has a mission for me. And I start to do what I received, and I start to respond to that focusing. So when I finished, we were looking to the space because my house was in the 52 apartment in the one building. And I had a little storage on the basement, so all the tools I get was there. Slowly, tools developed by itself, and I need a space. My wife, she find Marianne, she find a space for me. I rent the space without no experience about open the business. I opened the garage.
You opened the garage yourself
after 5 years. Yes.
After 5 years learning how to be a mechanic.
After 5 years. Yes.
You opened it behind the cinemas in Fresh Pond.
No, originally I made it in on Range Avenue.
Okay, on Range Avenue. And you were able to support your family as a mechanic and get home at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So you don't sell your art, but one of the things I also read is your art. You don't sell it, is that correct?
One of the things, Jim, my work is related to my mission. My mission is unite all the religion. And I believe my work has a value based off my education, of my philosophy. By just selling the piece of the artwork, I don't think is a very important thing. My piece of my artwork is related to my philosophy, how all the religion is connected to each other, and they have a relationship, and this relationship bring the peace, humanity, and security.
So you want people to come, and people can come see your work
every day.
The Aladdin Auto Service. That's where you display this, correct?
I give the cookie and the tea from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock every day is open.
So wait a second. You give people refreshments. They can see your artwork for nothing. And what if they want to do that, but they don't want their car fixed? They just want to see the work you've done and have a cup of tea.
Yeah, it's a gallery is one side, and the mechanic is one side.
And these are big, huge pieces made out of steel. And you've got sort of a thing with the Judaism and Christianity and Islam all kind of together in these artworks that
if you look into the religion, you have to look to the idea of the language, because the language is the sense of the transforming information to the present time as a spirituality form we received. And if you're looking through Old Testament and New Testament and Quran, before that, what was the source of the information came to the biblical information was a Sumerian. The Sumerian is the source of all the angels, all the God idea, philosophy of the heaven and the earth, all comes from those people.
Yeah.
In Iran, in the Hamidan is a cuneiform language. It says,
is that where you're from, Iran?
Correct.
You are,
yes.
okay.
It says, I am the God, I created the heaven and the earth, and the people and happiness for the people. It's a very important thing.
One last thing. In addition to your sculpture, I'm going to come see it, by the way, in the next couple. I'm dying to see this.
And
maybe even have my car fixed. I know
open
that.
Studios.
Plus, you get tea and you get crackers or whatever he's doing. I saw you on some Chronicle video on YouTube where you were strapped to some machine.
Correct.
Spinning around in circles. What is that? And
upside down.
How does that fit into your whole thing?
Yeah. Like in a toboggan. It's like you're strapped into a toboggan and you're upside down.
It throws you up and down and spins
does.
you. What's that about, Mahmood?
Jim, the idea of the healing the body, we can have a chemical reaction, radiation, operation, but still all those has a limitation. I believe if the holy man wants to heal someone, he has to have a knowledge of transforming that knowledge to somebody else. They can do the same job. It's not something I can touch this one and it will be healed and it will be fixed without knowing how. I believe technology and the idea of the science can help that one. So when we look to the material and the space, material is unstable, therefore is moving to the space to gain some energy to continually, to balance itself. So as orbiting, we see that all the planets moving. This moving of the planet is the idea of creating the balance. So human body has a vertical and horizontal experience. We do not have a space relationship to understanding. So when we are able to rotate the body to the spherical form, because the sphere is the final form of the space relationship, when we are able to create a balance mental and physically in the body.
So we know you're.
Wait a minute. Can I do this at home by like doing a shoulder stand, or do I have to be moving?
Move. The idea of, for example, when you cook at home, right?
Yeah.
You put all the ingredient into the pot.
Yeah.
Okay. Heat is there. Everything is there. Until you don't stir
it. That's a very good point.
Okay. The stored is the sense of the balancing.
Okay.
It means the movement. Everything chemically.
You look totally stirred, Mahmoud. We only have a minute left. Let me ask you something. So we know you're a great sculptor because we've seen
I'm
your work.
62 years old.
Whatever you are.
He looks great.
Mahmoud, okay,
He looks
so
great.
we know
Whatever he's doing.
You're in touch with the Lord. You're in touch with your body and the universe. We know you're a great sculptor. Are you a decent auto mechanic or not?
I'm a very good one.
Do other people say you're a very good one?
You can go to the Yelp.
And what do they say about you?
You can go to Yelp and look at my record. I try the best as I can. When the people they come to me, I look to their car as it looks like my own self.
I bet you do.
Okay, and do not, because through spirituality, whatever is outside is you. You have no concept of the exterior separated from you, because people because you don't have a time. People that are orbiting, but they are not able to entering. All the spirituality is through entering. You go to the source, and you to become as everything.
This is the most
Bring him your
upbeat
car,
40.
Jim.
I'm going to do
Can I
this.
sing? Can I sing? Can I sing?
Yeah, but I'm going to say
Absolutely.
Mahmood Rezaei-Kamalabad. Did I get it right?
Yes.
And
Okay.
Aladdin Auto Service. I'm going to leave quickly, and then you can sing anything you want. Tomorrow, we're going to have editor of the Boston Globe, Brian Margery, is going to be with us. We're also going to look at what worked and failed with the technology used in the Boston bombing manhunt. You can check us out 24/7 at WGBHnews.org/PPR. You can sing for the next 20 seconds.
And